Joburg Water says there's been some improvement in the quality of contaminated water in certain parts of the city. The entity says it's continuing with the precautionary water quality testing to determine whether the water remains contaminated. Now, earlier this week, Johannesburg Water issued an alert over possible contamination affecting parts of the city's central business district and Bazaidenhout Valley. The utility says residents reported a strong smell coming from their tap water on Monday, 29th of December. For the latest update, we are now joined by Johannesburg Water Operations Manager Gugulethu Quma. Gugulethu, welcome. Thank you for your time. Now, the latest update that you released yesterday mentioned some preliminary results indicating some areas of concern. Can you specify what these concerns are?
Thank you, Nompumelelo, and good afternoon to yourself and good afternoon to the viewers and the best wishes for the new year. Yes, yesterday we had preliminary test results that still show some concern, but the good part is that we are going towards the right direction. That means that the water in the affected area does not meet the minimum drinking standard, which is sense 2 for 1. And in this case, we continue to do the flushing and putting interventions to ensure that the water meets the minimum drinking standards so we can reconnect the customers. Thank you.
Gugulethu, you mentioned that the water still does not meet the South African national standards, the SANS. How far below these standards are we looking at?
Thank you so much. As far as that actual technical information, we summarize that information looking at the inception of the incident, which was Monday. In this case was 29 when we alerted the customers. The levels were quite different, but in the concerning levels. But as we look at the preliminary results as of yesterday, and we are tracking and monitoring from the date of incident up to yesterday, we can confirm that the contamination or the levels of concern have decreased substantially, and we are almost out of the woods, and we would want to get cleared from this potential or this contamination that we are referring to as soon as possible so that we can reconnect the customers. At this stage, that kind of a technical information we're referring to, it's more of high and the medium and the quite low. At this stage, we are almost towards meeting the requirements.
All right, Gugulethu, let's bring it down to the people's understanding and make it practical instead of technical. From the time that you issued the alert on the 29th of December to date, given the areas of concern found yesterday, what is your message then to residents who may have consumed water before the alert was issued? Are they still boiling water before consuming it?
We also need to perhaps put this information in context. Not the whole area of Johannesburg CBD is affected. The area that is affected is Bazaidenhout Valley, and also in the affected suburb. It's not the entire suburb, but it's a couple of streets that are linking to Albertina Sisulu Road. So the area is contained to that vicinity that is affected. At the time of the incident, the entity was doing some repair work within the water infrastructure in the area, and unfortunately, because the infrastructure, which can be water, sewer, or stormwater, any other related infrastructure that is serving the communities will be adjacent or will be running concurrently within the road reserve. Now, that infrastructure, unfortunately, while working on the water infrastructure, then you have a sewer infrastructure that is adjacent and unfortunately blocked. Remember, it was the 29th. Immediately, when the incident and the potential contamination was noted, and the customers also alerting the entity about the smell, the water was immediately closed and disconnected, and the flushing commenced. Unfortunately, some of the water would have come to the customers, and the customers also assisted us to alert, and unfortunately, we've advised the customers immediately not to consume the water and any other water that would have remained in their reticulation in this time, and we've provided alternate water. And we will alert the customers once the once the water is at the acceptable drinking levels, and we will inform the customers to now restore, or we will restore the connections to the customers and alert the customers to start utilizing water for potable needs. Thank you.
Gugulethu, then what is the slight improvement that you've seen, and what does it mean for those who are in need of water in those areas? How many roaming water tankers have you deployed, and how are you ensuring the safety of that water that's in the tankers?
Thank you. We do routine and regular checks of the collection point, and also the trucks themselves. They also get regular cleaning before we start the interventions like this. The area, as indicated, is a small area, and it's about 5 streets, and we are talking about around 50 households. So we are utilizing one truck to rove around in the area to provide alternate water to the customers. It's not a big suburb where we will be deploying perhaps a number of trucks, but rather we're utilizing one water truck to provide relief and alternate means of water to those affected customers.
Gugulethu, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.